Good morning and welcome back. We say happy Friday to Mike Eppel. How are you?
Pretty good, thank you. How are you?
All good, unless you're filling up. Filling up, Mike. It hurts.
Yeah, it sure does. And it's going to be interesting to see what is the tipping point for people to not drive so much. When you look at a dollar, that's the affordability. We've been talking a lot about this, Melanie, about the cost of everything going up in price. And it's not just gasoline. It is pretty much everything at the grocery store or what have you. And at some point, you have to make choices about what you're going to spend your money on. And is, driving on a short trip in particular going to be as important as maybe it previously was, with gas prices continuing to climb here. And as we've been looking at the price for oil as kind of the benchmark, I'll say that because oil is above $110 per barrel this morning, which isn't historically high, even though the price for gas is. And that's because of the demand for refined gasoline. The refining capacity has not been able to keep pace with all of the demand for North American gas going overseas to Europe and elsewhere. And again, the demand for gasoline still is very high despite the sky-high price. The other thing you're going to get soon, Melanie, is if you heat your home with natural gas, you'll get in the next pricing bill an adjustment likely to your gas price for natural gas, because that as well this morning is at a 14-year high at $9 per million BTU is the measurement. And they have to basically, the distributors have to apply to the regulator to raise the price for natural gas. But that's coming sooner rather than later.
You talked a little bit about that tipping point. Remember that survey you brought in last week? We're gonna touch on that, and you sound off today, and whether that $2.50 a liter is the mark, because I feel like
it's probably lower.
It's probably lower than that. Absolutely. Let's talk about a bit of Wall Street whiplash.
Yeah, this time yesterday morning we were saying how nice the markets were performing on the Thursday session. We had one of the best days since 2020, and then yesterday, nope, that was it. Everybody started selling, and there wasn't really a lead up to it. It just kind of built upon itself through the day, where the markets, and keep in mind the computer algorithms are a big factor here too. But they're worried about the rising price for oil and gasoline, consumer spending, inflation, the war in Ukraine, what the U.S. Federal Reserve is doing with interest rates, the labor market. That's 5, 6, 7 things. And earnings, those are kind of important. And, yesterday we saw Shopify, for example, report earnings that were below forecast. That stock plunged to a 2-year low. All of the e-commerce related stocks just were crushed. Etsy, Wayfair, Amazon, you name it. The tech heavyweights wiped out. The Dow Jones was down 1,000 points, 3%. NASDAQ down 5%. It's in a bear market again, down 20% from its record highs. So, yeah, the swings, the mood swings on these markets right now are off the chart. And until we kind of push through this, because the analysts are saying there's no real catalyst right now to turn things higher or to stabilize things until we kind of get through this rising interest rate environment and start to see inflation maybe come down a little bit. But that's going to take months.
Those mood swings are like me before coffee, me after coffee, me before coffee, me before coffee. It's basically that.
That's a good point.
Finally, we got about 30 seconds left, Mike. We're expecting a jobs report today.
Yeah, and that's another good news, bad news kind of thing, because in the U.S., the Federal Reserve has a mandate to keep employment at full levels, but at the same time fight inflation. That's kind of tough to do right now. But the U.S. economy is probably going to see an unemployment rate of a record low of 3.5%, maybe 3.4%. The Canadian jobs report should show an unemployment rate here down to 5.2%. I mean, these are historically low levels for unemployment, Melanie, with tens of thousands of jobs being created each and every month. Some sectors struggling to find workers.
Mike, as always, a pleasure. Have yourself a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
See you Monday.
Looks like it's going to be a nice one.
It's going to be beautiful. Thank you.